Welcome, one and all, to World in a Jar. We are your hosts, Kyoko and Vale. Our goal is to take a word, concept, or idea and spin it into a story. Be it a character, NPC, group, city, you name it. And thus, those ideas we create become our World in a Jar. Of course, they won't all fit in the same jar, so our selection is constantly growing every week. With many spices to choose from, locations, genres, heroes, villains, and tropes, we hope to give you a jar filled with fun and interesting concepts. But first, how you doing, Vale?
I am doing good, just as good as last episode, maybe a
Yay!
little more.
This is an episode I am insanely excited about. This is a topic that I
Yeah.
have been waiting to cover on World in a Jar for the longest time as World in a Jar's resident bard.
And I just like this episode.
Also, as
I like
an
this episode
aside, I've
concept.
noticed in all of these episodes that I say the intro, I say it almost exactly the same every single time. So if anyone wants to clip together all of the times I say the intro and show me how similar it is, please do that. That would be amazing. Also a nightmare.
Chris super edit every one of
Just
Kyoko's
splice all of
intros.
my intros together. Oh god. Oh no. That's what I hear in my nightmares. But either way, back on the episode topic, today, Vale and I are going to go through our personal music libraries, me on Apple Music and Vale on Spotify, to pick a song to inspire us to build, be it a character, NPC, group, city, you name it.
Yeah. Nice way to tie back the intro.
And I will say, before we start out doing this, any song we pick, this is just our interpretation of something we can pull from the song to inspire us to build what we're going to build. If you have a different viewpoint or avenue you would take this song, let us know. I love learning about how people interpret music, and I love hearing what people think of pieces of music. So let us know what the songs we pick inspire you. We will add, or at least I will add, a link to the songs that we have in our YouTube description, so check it out.
We'll also have to figure out how long of a clip we can put in without copyright infringement.
Would it be copyright infringement if I just sang the song partially? We'll figure
I
it out.
doubt it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Would you like to go first? Or should I or flip coin?
I'm rolling an E20, high or low.
Evens.
Evens? 18 is even, and that usually hits me
Let's
too.
fucking go. Alright, I don't know if Apple will tell me exactly how many songs I have. According to according to iTunes on my Mac, I have 178 songs, which does not sound correct. I feel like I have more than that. But either way, let me turn down the volume on my phone, and let me hit shuffle. The song that my phone has selected for me is Celebrity Status by Mariana's Trench. I look around, look around, and look it over. I take it up, and take you nowhere. Step 1, step 2, step 3, repeat. And I pray the church of asses in their seats and disappear behind the beat, yeah. But yes, it's that song. So this song is about, essentially, like, reaching celebrity status, being insanely popular and things like that. I don't know a lot about this song, but this is one of the songs that I just play on repeat and sing over and over because I love this song. But I feel like this song immediately gives me either College of Glamour Bard or Oath of Glory Paladin, honestly. Because it's like striving for popularity, or like dealing with popularity, dealing with celebrity status, things like that. So I would say with this, it's like a bard or a College of Glamour bard or an Oath of Glory paladin that are like really struggling with the ramifications of their subclass. So either this College of Glamour bard who has become way more popular than they ever expected, to the point where they're being chased by like paparazzi and things like that, or they are unable to like go about their business without being like noticed and swarmed by people. Their public image has been twisted into the image of their stage persona instead of who they are as a person, so they have to live this sort of double life. And it's the same thing with the Oath of Glory Paladin. It's this paladin who was not expecting their glory to hit so hard, to hit as much as it has, as fast as it has. So they're dealing with the pressures of keeping this glory and keeping up with the standards of the glory that they are being subjected to, the glory that they weren't really striving towards, but they now have. This also makes me think of another song that is not the song that my phone rolled for me, but listen to Interlude Shadow by BTS. It's amazing. But yeah, it could be either a Glamour Bard or Glory Paladin that is facing the ramifications of reaching this glamorous or glorious status way harder and way faster than they anticipated, or even like thought they could get to.
It makes me think about like being chased by paparazzi even.
I'm your biggest fan.
If it's like an Oath of Glory paladin, oh my god, everyone wants to fight me to prove how easy it is to fight me.
I'm your biggest fan.
And it's not, so they always get their ass kicked.
You love me, paparazzi.
Paparazzi.
We love Lady Gaga here.
Icon, absolute
Honestly.
icon.
But yeah, that's at least this song. I might roll another song because that was very fast. But yeah, Celebrity Status by Mariana's Trench. It's your turn.
I got a kind of interesting song that I think I can add random words to. This is a hard one because I've got a lot of video game music on my Spotify. Just because I mostly use Spotify as a tool to help me or help engage my mind to think about my D&D game. So it's a lot of like ambient music. So for instance, this song is Pursuit Cornered from Ace Attorney. And I'm like, maybe a whole investigation campaign or arc. But that's very loose. Oh, but the words. So I took to the random word generator to help me realize this investigation campaign. Two very related words are demand and terms.
Ooh.
So there is a hostage situation. The players, I think... See, but how do we tie hostage situations into like a courtroom kind of thing? It does remind me of the best case of the second Ace Attorney game, which is not what Pursuit Cornered is from, but there was a situation where a serial killer captured your assistant, and you had to defend the serial killer's client uh, to to acquit him. Oh, here's a cool idea. So for this investigation episode, there's this client who's been imprisoned. Um, the party is trying to acquit him because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So the person that took the hostages and got away with a bunch of cash framed this guy for it. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time, looked like the wrong person. And so the party is going to be hired as investigators to figure out who the culprit really is, because no one actually got a read on him. Or maybe it's just like the hostages themselves saw this guy disguise self so many times they don't know if they saw the real one. Man, I'm really going off on an idea I didn't think I had. So they have to investigate who it is, how they got themselves into the position to take the hostages, where the money went. And so they have to find all of these details about the crime. And maybe they catch the guy. Maybe they're just looking in to acquit the client. It's a very intrigue-laden session. I feel like if there's any combat scenarios, it's incidental. Like maybe this guy was part of some criminal organization, and you go into the criminal organization to get answers, and they don't like you, and they try and beat you up.
Yeah.
But you're able there's also probably a non-combat encounter where you're trying to convince or coerce the boss or just any mook that knows anything about this criminal.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the lead. What does he really look like? Who is he? Because they might have been privy to his real form.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it's a changeling they're going after.
Oh, I can't mention Baldur's Gate. Okay, so in Baldur's Gate 3, in the final act, one of the villains is a changeling cultist of the god of murder. And in it, she kidnaps one of your party members and disguises them for a long time until you come to a moment where she reveals herself, and she's like, kill the other guy you want to kill and bring me his netherstone, and then we'll work things out from there. And I won't kill your party member, but you can still go after her and save the party member.
Didn't they do that with Karlak when you were playing True Love?
No, it wasn't Karlak, it was Lae'zel. It's like, damn it, Lae'zel just became a friend of True Love, and now it might have all been a lie.
But yeah, no, that would be super cool.
But yeah, I think that's... Ooh. And them being a changeling really does complicate things, because how do you find a changeling?
Yeah.
So you really have to dig deep and find, where are they going? What are they doing with the money, kind of thing. So it's up to the party to get every single detail to acquit. Maybe it's even their friend. But I think that's all I have for this idea. I think that's broad, specific enough that there's a solid idea there for a campaign or a story arc, but then also loose enough that you guys can fill in the details yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually already have another song.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's your turn.
So the song that my phone rolled is Shinu no ga iwa by Fuji Kaze. Shinu no ga iwa in English translates to I'd rather die, or death would be okay. So people have probably heard this song before, is Watashi no saigo wa anata ga ii, anata to kono mama o saraba suru yori shinu no ga ii wa, shinu no ga ii wa. And in this song, Fuji Kaze is talking about how this person that he's singing about is his absolute, is the person that like he would be okay with being with over everything else. The chorus translates to, I want you to be my last. If I have to keep being separated from you like this, I'd rather die. I choose you over 3 meals a day. Things like that. So this song, instead of building a character, it makes me think of in general, it makes me think Fae. Mostly because the melody of this is really it's a really captivating, really even melody, especially in the chorus. The vocal line doesn't move very much. It's all within the same point. You don't have to change the timbre of your voice to sing it. It has the song in general, especially in the interlude, has a really jazzy sound to it, so it's really captivating. And my brain twisted this as an Archfey warlock patron that their warlock is they are deeply obsessed or something like that, deeply possessive of their warlock. This Archfey would rather die, would rather lose all of their power than lose their warlock. And maybe that leads to them trying to get the warlock to be at their side, to want to be with them as well. To sort of you could entrance them with whatever they could want. It could be there is an actual relationship there. It could be that this Archfey genuinely cares about their warlock and wants nothing but the best for them and things like that. But it could be sort of this sort of you could see it as almost a problematic love and or possessiveness, depending on how you spin it. And then of course you would get to write or imagine the interaction or the response that the warlock would have to any of this. Because in verse 2 he says, still sometimes my heart is being unfaithful, even though it'll never be cured, I'm gonna cure it anyway. I ain't nothing but your baby. You don't know what you've got until it's gone. I'm sick and tired of repeating that same old cliche goodbye. Oh, don't you ever say bye-bye. Things like that. So, it's really cool. It can turn into something really sweet. It can turn into something really dark. There are a lot of avenues you can take with this.
Imagine if the player of this warlock, their character dies, and the patron comes after the party.
For letting I love
happen.
that. Absolutely. I love that.
That reminds me. It reminds me of a campaign that just finished a couple months ago, where there was this big, terrible dragon looming and trying to destroy and conquer the world. And so for a long period of time we had to go into the Feywild, and we found out there were 2 queens of the Winter Court. The original queen froze the other one in a block of in impenetrable ice, because the other queen turned out she was a princess at first, and then she traveled to the mortal world, fell in love with the king of the country, and since names have power, since titles have power, she was the queen. And so when her mother ripped her back into the Feywild and made everyone's collective memory of the queen disappear, despite the king having a child, a very important child to the story, she still held on to that name, Queen. And so she threatened to pretty much entirely undo the Winter Court through that by making herself.
Oh, the drama. I would want to just be like a passerby. I would sit there with a bowl of popcorn, watching the drama.
And her entire motivation was to be with her king. She didn't even want to be in the Feywild.
Yeah, she's like, you took everything from me, I will take everything from you. I love that. I love that.
And then, if she became the queen of the Winter Court, she takes him to the Winter Court, where no one ages or has to eat or anything, and they just live in eternal happiness.
I love that. I love that so much. Do you want to do another song, or?
I'm debating whether to skip this song or not. It's a very near and dear song to me, from Generation 3 of Pokemon. Four Tree City.
Fuck yeah.
I happen to have a cover by the Good Note Boys on Spotify, because Pokemon doesn't upload their soundtracks to Spotify like they do for Apple Music. But I mean, Four Tree City is one of the most interesting locations of the early gen Pokemon.
Yeah, it is.
They really just did have very complex environments for being like Game Boy sprite based areas, with Four Tree City being like a city. It's pretty much exactly an elven city, where all of the houses were built on trees, and there are catwalks across these houses to connect them all in a very forested area. You basically come through this huge long route after you get the Surf HM.
Yeah.
And go through this whole long adventure to get here. And one of the features is that blocking your way to the gym is an invisible Pokemon. It's a chameleon Pokemon.
Let's go Kecleon.
And so I think there's enough there to inspire. Well, I think again I'm gonna have to go for some words, because Four Tree City is just a vibe. It's beautiful. The music is just so calming and soothing. Those are interesting words. The words are cooperative and survival.
Ooh.
So I'm thinking there's something that lives on the ground of this forest that caused all of the villagers to move their houses to the treetops. And they don't have unlimited resources. Their civilization is very small, and they have a strong sense of community, and they're all just trying to make sure everyone gets by to the next day. I'm imagining an invisible monster that prowls underneath but never goes up in the trees.
So the only safe place is the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to betray the whole elven theme and say they're Aarakocra. They just built nests.
I mean, hey, that goes with Winona being the flying type gym leader.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
They're just Aarakocras that have built tree houses as nests, because they're sapient birds.
The leader is a druid that conjures woodland beings, and they're like giant eagles and stuff.
Absolutely.
One of the fun facts about my D&D campaigns is that sometimes I try and stay away from Pokemon as much as possible. Sometimes I have an idea for a campaign that I'm gonna run with our group, since we all have met through the Pokemon community. Or we're all involved in the Pokemon community, because I met you in middle school pretty much, or high school pretty much.
Yeah.
Is to make a whole map, and that is from Pokemon, and pass it off as a homebrew setting, and see how long it takes for people to notice it's
if
just
you give
Hoenn,
me the map,
just
it'll be session 0. So do not provide the map. Because if you do, I have every single map from every single generation memorized, Vale. I know what every map looks like. Hoenn especially. If you have a giant
yeah,
body of water in there, my brain is gonna be like, why have you taken us to Hoenn? Where is the spear pillar? And where is the wrecked ship? And where is Wallace? Where is my gay uncle?
There's guys. My
gunkle.
They were my original OTP. Wallace
I
and
mean,
Steve.
they are
and
the.
It brings me so much joy that Pokemon Masters.
Oh yeah, they are the original. Besides Red and Blue. I mean, they went on a vacation to Alola together. Red and Blue did, not Steven and Wallace, but they would too. I guarantee. My last song that I rolled is Kamipoina, or translates to God-ish, by the Vocaloid producer Pinocchio P. It has also been covered by the insanely famous Japanese singer Ado. So if you don't know the song, Kamipoina sore, hikyo kamipoina sore, I want you, IQ が下がってく感じ。じゃ心配なそれ、卑怯じゃ心配なそれ。I hate you, 害虫はどっち？その髪型、その目の、その口元、その香水、その服、そのメイク。あれっぽいなそれ、卑怯、あれっぽいなそれ。この名言、その名言、その意見、その批評、そのカリスマ、そのギャグ、そのセンス。髪っぽいなそれ、卑怯っぽいなぽい、ぽいなぽいなぽい、憧れちゃうわ。It's a very long, very fast song. But it's about, it's another song about life and stuff like that. So, what I just sang translates to, that's God-ish, unfair, that's God-ish, my God. I want you, it's like my IQ's going down. That's evil-hearted, ultimately that's evil-hearted. I hate you, who's the pest now? That hair, those eyes, that mouth, that perfume, those clothes, that makeup. It's that-ish, compare it's that-ish. That quote, that opinion, that review, that charisma, that gag, that taste. That's God-ish, unfair. How ish, I'm so jealous. So it's about, like, thinking about things in life and how annoying it is that life is like really sort of like unfair, that things aren't really clear, that you can be sort of ish about things. Like the outro is let me scroll to the lyrics. 愛のネタバレ別れっぽいな人生のネタバレ死ぬっぽいなすべて理解して患った無邪気に踊っていたかった人生 So, spoiler for love, breakup-ish. Spoiler for life, death-ish. I understood everything and suffered. I just wanted to dance without knowing life. And this makes me think of either a life cleric or you could say a death cleric. You could say it's a former Oath of Devotion paladin that has turned Oathbreaker, where they learn about all of like the cruel and unjust things in life, and instead of them like wanting to fight against them and make things better, they just sort of break, and they're just like, what the fuck? So then they could go from like lawful good and turn like, you know, chaotic neutral, true neutral, lawful evil, things like that. So it like, it doesn't really shatter them, but it makes them angry inside. It makes them cynical. It makes them like be like, oh haha, life is unfair. And I hate that. So then they live out of spite, really. But I love this song. I love Miku. I love Ado. I love Pinocchio P. So This is a very good song.
And it's funny, we were talking about how you were going to get a Miku song this episode.
Watashi wa Miku. Absolutely. I mean, I have the original Pinocchio P version, but my phone rolled the Otto version, and I love Otto's voice. Ado-san daisuki. Hontou ni daisuki. I love Ado. Or Ado-sama, sorry. But yeah, that's my last song. This has gone very fast. I get inspirations from songs very fast.
Yeah. This is a fun concept though. Just like pick a song and design something.
Pick a song and let me yap about it. And let me sing it a little bit.
Right. So there were two things. One, I realized I wasn't playing on shuffle when I was looking through the song list, so it wasn't quite random. The next song I got from that was Devil Trigger from Devil May Cry 5. It's a very rage-filled song. It's very
Same.
It was on the character inspiration soundtrack for my Chaotic Evil Knoll Barbarian Fighter. The exact same build as Graf.
Oh yeah. Except not having Kratos as their token for now.
Right. And then the next song I played on for to actually shuffle it was Metallica's "The Thing That Should Not Be."
Ooh.
That was a song about Cthulhu.
Hell yeah.
And it was Metallica's actually done a couple songs on Eldritch Horror. I'm not the biggest fan of Metallica anymore, but I do enjoy cosmic horror. I will abide. Well, I have read a couple Lovecrafts. He was a terrible person. Some of the ideas he had for cosmic horror were pretty solid, but I do not condone that man, and I don't necessarily suggest reading his works at all because it's almost unpalatable, or not almost. It is unpalatably xenophobic.
Yeah.
But I still do enjoy cosmic horror as a genre. And having the thing that should not be come up. I don't want to make it about Cthulhu, but we have to design a cosmic horror, I think. And this just became about my campaign.
I was about to say, you have had many a campaign dealing with cosmic horror, my friend.
I have. And then the words I rolled for it were ice and reed. Oh God, am I even allowed to talk about this with you? Ugh, I've got to make it.
I was about to say,
it's like,
you don't want to give me.
End game.
Don't give me any spoilers, because you remember how fast I put together what you wanted to be a secret from me.
Fair. I'll do it about Devil Trigger.
I was about to say,
then.
I have
But
autism.
for reference,
I put the pieces together. I've connected the dots. You haven't connected shit. I've connected them.
I think we'll do Devil Trigger.
Cool.
So that song is like, it embodies like unbridled rage for Nero, who is I've only played a little bit of Devil May Cry 5. I haven't played the other games, so it just didn't make any sense for me. And one of my friends, or a couple of my friends, are DMC buffs, and they're trying to get me to play 3 and 4 before I play 5, or before I get back into 5, so I know what's going on. But I think I could take that and make a barbarian.
Yeah.
And the words for that barbarian are dangerous and emergency.
Emergency. Sorry, my brain immediately say that like Monokuma.
I'm having a hard. So, like, of course, a barbarian is a very dangerous person, but I think the barbarian is in like a desperate situation. He had to choose they had to choose the path of rage because someone very near and dear to them is in dire condition. So maybe they're hunting for a way to cure the dire condition, and then also hunting for the thing or the person that made them
that caused the
and
dire
I think I'll roll
condition.
a quick. So there's a couple ways that could go up until I rolled this trope, where it could be like a poisonous beast injected its slow and terrible poison into their family member or their beloved, and now they're in critical condition, dying slowly. And one, they need to find the antidote. Two, they need to slay the beast responsible so it doesn't do it to anyone else. But the trope I rolled or the other way is someone is using that family member as leverage and totally incapacitated them and are the only ones with the antidote. So that organization is trying to strong arm this barbarian into like a ransom or ceding power maybe. And that's the other idea I had until I got the trope, which is Weapon of X Slaying. A weapon which gets extra bonuses against a specific enemy type. Sometimes they might outright kill them in one hit. I think of like the Vorpal Sword and the Jabberwocky. There's like, there's a lot of these swords in video games. So that might be one of the things the barbarian is hunting for, is like, for the animal side, a weapon which seeks the heart of that foul monster. So they're looking for the weapon that can kill it. They're looking for the antidote, and then they're going to kill it. I think that was a nice quick one, but like, we're kind of glossing over the song part. But Devil Trigger, if you listen to it, you will feel the rage of a barbarian. You'll just know this is exactly the kind of song that will get me in the mood to play a raging, menacing slayer.
Because you could do, my thought with that was you do a berserker barbarian mixed with a ranger, because of ranger's favorite enemy, and then you have frenzied rage. And then if you're more than a level 5 barbarian, you have improved movement, you have extra attack, and if you frenzied rage, that's 3 attacks per turn. So, that's pretty good.
So yeah, I think that's where I'm going to seal up that jar and put them on the market.
Yeah.
Let me open that document with the outro. If you like this show or need any ideas, you can find us on Twitter at Worlds and Jars, or email us at worldinthejar1@gmail.com. Do you have any recommendations, Kyoko?
Listen to Ado, listen to Fuji Kaze, listen to more Miku music, listen to BTS. What was the first song I picked? Listen to Mariana's Trench, and hit me up for any other music recommendations. I'm not our resident bard for nothing.
Right. Yeah, just hit us up for literally anything. We are all ears. We will listen. We will respond. At least in our smaller stages. Once we get really famous, it might pass us up, but we really want to interact with people.
And maybe this can be a good way to open the doors for a potential Patreon in the future.
Yeah. Well, maybe. If we can get enough people to sign up for it, but still, it'd be cool. Big plans of the World in the Jar headquarters.
Big jars. Yeah,
big jars. Big jars brewing.
Big jars of brewing. That is a promise, not a threat. Maybe it is a threat. Who knows?
But yeah, do something good for yourself. We will see you next week.
Bye. This episode was edited by Chris Rogers VO at Twitter. This episode was edited by Chris at Chris Rogers VO on Twitter. Go check him out. I was not looking at the line, but